We are eagerly awaiting the release of the Tab S7, which is due in August 2020. And there have been some rumors, some leaks, and we're getting even more excited about the prospect of what we've seen. There are reportedly not one, but two versions of the Tab S7. An 11-inch version, which will be slightly larger than the current 10.5-inch, and a 12.4-inch version, which is reportedly called the Tab S7 Plus. So not just one version, but two versions.
A lot of people are already comparing the new Tab S7 to the iPad Pro, and yes, in certain instances it makes sense, and we will do that once we have it. Why don't we compare this to the Tab S6 as of today? And the changes are really slim at the basic version, at the 11-inch version, and yes, we welcome that. A bit bigger, it's a bit thicker as well, but not really that much, so you won't see that much of a difference. However, when we're looking at the 12.4-inch version, then this makes sense. You will see a big difference here. Look, another major change we expect is that Samsung moves the camera from the narrow side, from the top basically, down to the wider bezels. And that is really useful when you have that in a horizontal mode for Zoom calls or video calls, any kind of video calls, especially in these days. And that is something that we really appreciate, and one major feature that is going to appear on the Tab S7. The premium build will of course continue with the Tab S7. We've seen it on the Tab S6 and that is really cool. And it will also have that super AMOLED screen we all fell in love with, right? The 16:10 aspect ratio will stay the same. The one big change we are all been looking forward to is the 120 Hz refresh rate. Yes, you heard right. This is one of the features we are really liking so far to see on the Tab S7. This year Samsung pulls out all the stops, and we've seen this with the S20. This year we will get the Snapdragon 865 for the Tab S7, which is pretty cool. Last year release, however, we had the 855 and we did a comparison video for the 6GB and the 8GB of RAM model, and that had two kind of variants of the 855, but this year we expect the brand new 865 Snapdragon to come on board with the Tab S7. And we already have some juicy bits. Yes, we have some Geekbench results for the new Tab S7 for the 6GB, the 6GB RAM version, that is. And when you look at that, that is really a good score. And when you look at the Tab S6 Geekbench results from last year, we have both results available because we did that comparison for the 6GB as well as the 8GB of RAM version. Then you can see already the higher version, the 8GB of RAM version, is already lower power than the new 6GB of RAM version, and that is due to the Snapdragon 865 processor. So we're really looking forward to the Tab S7. And we also expect to have a minimum of 8GB of RAM and 128GB SSD, as well as the option for 256 SSD storage on the Tab S7. So there's a lot of things the Tab S7 will take over from the Tab S6, and that is really a good thing, right? Your micro SD card slot is still there. You will be able to expand your internal storage, which is a great thing. Dual cameras will stay. It probably will be improved. We don't know much about that yet. We have the AKG quad speakers. That is really, Dolby Atmos is something really nice. And then we have the fingerprint sensor, right? This will stay. But there's an addition we all been looking forward to, and that's the 5G support for the Tab S7, and that will come for sure this year. So the battery capacity is really unknown as of today, but we do expect to have the Tab S7 Plus to have a bigger battery, and the rumors say that you will get, or we will get, up to 9,800 milliamp hours, and that is massive. That is a massive battery.
When it comes to the S Pen, I have one order with Samsung, and that is that they use the Tab S6 Lite pen. I don't want to go back to the Tab S6 pen. I want to go with the Tab S6 Lite version with no batteries, and I'm hoping that that's what will come along with the Tab S7. I have seen on the CAD drawings that there is a space on the Tab S7 on the back, a dent in the back for the pen, like on the Tab S6 version, which the Tab S6 Lite does not have. And I'm super hoping that the brand new Tab S6 Lite S Pen will fit in there.
In terms of pricing and availability, an event is scheduled for 5th of August, which hasn't been confirmed yet, but it's the virtual Unpacked event, and amongst many other devices, the Samsung Tab S7 will be launched. We do expect it to be a bit more expensive than the Tab S6 because you have many versions of the Tab S7, like the 5G support, so we do expect it to be slightly more expensive. However, in terms of availability, when they announced this in early August, last year we had our hands on mid-August for the first time, so we expect it to come fairly quickly. We will see though how it works out with the manufacturing process, but we hope to see it by the end of August, at least beginning of fall this year.
Dear Samsung, my wish for you is the 12.4-inch version with the LTE function and also the brand new S Pen from the S6 Lite.